representative. That's so many syllables. Or congresswoman, do you always have to introduce yourself with all those syllables?
Oh yeah, no. I just say, hi, I'm Katie.
So we end this, we sort of roll towards the end of this with 10 questions, just, sassy little vignettes. 10 first. Number 1. First thing you look at on your phone in the morning.
Twitter.
And terrifying. What if you look at the phone in the morning, Twitter, and it's your face staring at you?
That does not happen.
Not yet. First person you call.
My mom.
She must be so proud.
Oh, she is, but when I told her I was running for the House of Representatives, and I'd never run for office before, she said, well, what about the Senate? All right, Mom, I'll get right on that. She's a tough cookie.
I see a theme with your family. And I like it. The first joke you tell or you remember.
Oh, that's a good one. On campus, I taught on all these campuses.
Yeah.
And so it's, what's the best reason to ride the campus bus?
Is?
So you don't get run over by it. Because it's driven by all these student drivers, right?
Yeah.
Who are hired as work-study jobs to drive the campus bus.
So I see another theme of not wanting to die. I like it. I support your goals. What was your first fashion splurge? Or something that you bought that made you feel kind of swish?
I bought these heels from Paul Green. They were like a kind of a gold sparkly, I don't know how to exactly describe, beautiful. And they had the perfect heel height and they were comfortable and I could walk in real heels. Somewhere along the way, I had a busy campaign day and I had to change into flats to go do something and then I had to change into heels. I literally lost one shoe.
What, on the street? Or just?
I've since then been subscribed to an eBay search trying to find not just one shoe, but a complete pair again in my size and type. And I have not succeeded and it's been 2 or 3 years.
But where is that one shoe?
I don't know. I even went back. I think it fell out in the parking garage or on the street when I got out of my car, but.
I think we've got to put this out via InStyle's ladies first. If you've seen what left or right foot?
I think it was the right foot, Paul Green.
In a parking garage.
Had a strap.
Yeah. Can you please call 1-800 missing Congresswoman Porter shoe? And we'll find it for you. Okay. First time, bad word, but you don't have to repeat it. First time you owned your shit.
What do you mean by that?
First time you really stood up for something, or first time you really felt your shoulders were square and you knew what you were doing.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I think I'm pretty hard on myself.
Right.
I don't necessarily feel like that ever comes.
Some people have a very particular thing, I was 16, I was da. It doesn't matter. There's a little bridge that sometimes people walk so they can mark that, and other times. But I think especially for you because you are constantly owning it, every other second. So it's good. Probably for the best that you've got much more to bring. Okay, first thing you turn on TV.
Oh, I get no chance. That is completely, one, I never get to watch TV, and 2, when I do, I have 3 children and 1 TV. So the first thing I do when someone turns the TV on is start refereeing arguments about whether or not it's our turn to watch Mandalorian, or we're watching a Disney princess, or we're watching a crime thriller, or first thing I do when the TV comes on is begin to referee that family debate.
How invigorating.
Not really.
First thing you do or eat when you're stressed?
Probably iced coffee.
But doesn't that just make you more jangly?
Yeah, but it's it's soothing to me because it's cold. I get hot really easily running around. Right. The straw, I think, is soothing. One of my great favorite stories is I drive this minivan. This is a couple of years ago. My daughter was maybe 4. Mm-hmm. I was saying something and my daughter said, "Mommy needs a latte."
And you said, "I feel so seen."
My staff, because they'll show up sometimes, middle of the day, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they'll show up with an iced coffee. And I'm like, "Why are you doing this?" And it's well, we heard that a couple events back, you were worn out or you were tired.
Can you sleep okay though if you drink iced coffee in the afternoon?
I've never been a very good sleeper.
You're like a constantly revving engine, aren't you?
Well, in kindergarten we had nap time. I never fell asleep until one day, and I must have been a little bit sick. because I fell asleep during nap time. And my teacher was so surprised and probably happy that she let me sleep through and into recess. So I woke up and looked out and heard the noise, and I realized that other people were playing, and I then began a very long anti-nap phase that came from not wanting to miss out. I've gotten over this.
The only woman who finds coffee relaxing. There's just so much to learn here. Okay, first date.
Went to a Kansas City Royals game. I didn't really date in high school or college at all. Part of it was the college and high school I went to just weren't dating places. And I also just bloomed really, really late that way. But yeah, going to a Kansas City Royals baseball game.
First car you bought?
The first car I drove was this black, dark gray Camaro, it was in the early 90s. And the reason I got to drive it is my dad was a small town banker. So when you go to foreclose a car, repossess a car, you have to drive out to wherever the person lives. Then somebody has to drive the repoed car home. I got this car and I got to drive it around because it was repoed and it was just sitting there like a sporty car.
So you were repo man?
Yeah, exactly. I was the repo girl.
Okay, last question. What will you do when this G-damn pandemic is over?
See my family.
Have you not seen them at all? Did you see them in the summer?
No, I haven't seen my mother in more than a year. I haven't seen my sister in more than a year. So yeah, see my family. My nieces, my nephews, they're fabulous and I miss them a lot.
Just to all be in a big pile, a big hug pile. Representative Congresswoman Katie Porter, thank you so much for joining us. Your command, we've talked about your frankness, your ease with yourself, your way of speaking truth to power, but how you do it with a real comfort and make it look so easy. And I know oftentimes it isn't. And how frank you are with everything is the reason why we all admire you so much. And because we're also members of the 46-year-old club. Solidarity, sister. But thank you so much, ladies first. May you continue to represent, and may things get a little bit easier in Congress, and may that for all of us, and may that trust come back. And I think that you are one of the people that will build that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching 10 First. I hope you liked it. If you did, click the subscribe button. This is me clicking below, or like, or anything to validate me personally. And stick around for next week when we'll get more juicy first time.